All right, so let's take a look to see what's happening in the markets today. And today is July 1st, and we're going to do this in 15 minutes so that you know what's going on. And with me in the studio is my head coach, Mark Hodge. Good morning, Mark.
Hey, good morning, Markus.
So yesterday, the S&P 500 closed out the quarter and the first half of a year with a bang, right? Well, not
Yeah,
really a bang, but a new all-time high, but just barely up. It seems that stocks are right now hitting some sort of resistance while they're climbing higher.
yeah, we're seeing these smaller range days, and it looks like we did make record highs. I think it was 4 out of the last 5 days, if I have that right.
Yeah,
So we're hanging in there, but the ranges are getting small.
yeah. So yesterday, the winner was the Dow. So yesterday, back into value stocks, and the Nasdaq was actually down yesterday. So the Nasdaq, this has been just making new all-time highs almost daily. So yesterday, the Nasdaq took a breather. So if you look at the heavyweights in there, so Facebook yesterday was down 1%. Amazon yesterday was down 0.3%, not a whole lot. Netflix down just 1%. And then in the Dow, we probably had a few that were higher. Let's see what Boeing did. Yeah, Boeing up 1.6%. So anyhow, so yesterday a little bit out of growth into value, but it's not really a rotation. It just mainly, I would say, the Dow catching up, because while the S&P 500 and Nasdaq made new all-time highs, I mean the Dow still hasn't made an all-time high.
Yeah, it's making its way, but definitely lagging the Nasdaq and the S&P. This morning it looks like it's similar to yesterday. Dow futures leading the way, although it's just minor movement right now.
Yeah, not really a whole lot. I mean, Dow up what 0.19%. Yes, slightly up. Nasdaq slightly down. So, but we also had some news this morning, right?
Yeah. Weekly jobless claims hit a new pandemic low. So there were 388,000 Americans expected to file unemployment last week, and 364,000 filed. So it was lower than expected, and about 50,000 less than the previous week.
Yeah, and that's good because this has been ticking up for what past 2 or 3 weeks in a row, something like this. So
Yeah,
we saw a decline, a decline, a decline, a decline, and then we saw this little uptick here, and now it seems that we are on the decline again.
yeah, that's a good thing. It did jump, like you said, last 2 weeks. It popped up a little bit higher than expected. Now tomorrow, the jobs report tomorrow is going to be the biggie. The uh, non-farm employment jobs, the average hourly increase, and also the unemployment rate will be part of that. That's for the month of June,
Yeah.
and we'll see.
All right. Well, in other news today, we have the OPEC meeting. This is the all producing and exporting countries here. They have their meeting this morning via video conference. And let's take a look at crude oil, because crude oil, my gosh, yesterday jumped up another, almost 3%. So this year, the overnight futures. So right now trading at its highest level since 2018. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
So, I mean, we will see what they do today. At the last meeting, they announced an increase of 2.1 million barrels per day. This was between May and July. So they already said what is happening in July, obviously. And today it's about what is happening in August. And they say, okay, we're adding another zero point 0.5 million barrels in August. But you see, the problem is, I mean, so supply is not the problem. What I've heard is the problem is that there are no truck drivers to keep up with the deliveries. And this is where, again, right? I mean, we talked about it. the shortage of jobs. I mean, last year, we know that crude oil prices last year were so crazy that at some point they were actually negative. If I'm going out to a weekly chart here, we see that we had this whoa crazy drop and they were negative at some point. And this were, I mean, everybody was panicking. The oil companies were panicking. They laid off truck drivers. And now we talked about it yesterday. I mean, people are finding other jobs and they are not definitely want to go back to be a truck driver. So this is one of the challenges that we are seeing right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So OPEC is expected, or OPEC Plus is expected to increase output by 500,000 barrels a day, wrapping up their meeting. But at the same time, it's getting it out. That's the issue right now.
Right. And then next week, we have the 4th of July holiday. And this is where 10 million more Americans are set to take road trips compared to last year, according to the AAA here. And we also talked about it. The daily car rental rates are insane. I mean, right now, in order to get a car for a day, you're paying $166 per day. This is just crazy. And the average price for a gallon of gas is now $3.09. That's the highest price over the holidays in the last 7 years. So holy
Wow.
cannoli.
And I heard that it was 500 a day for a rental in places like Alaska, and I even believe that that was in Hawaii. But the problem's even getting a rental car,
Yeah,
right?
right. It's right now crazy. I mean, this worker shortage is really hitting pretty much all industries. By the way, I heard that we talked about the travel industry and airlines, and we know that American Airlines had to cancel several hundred flights because they don't have enough crews. I brought up Southwest Airlines here, and Southwest Airlines is now offering flight attendants double pay to make sure that they are coming back to work. I mean, wow, that's pretty big, don't you think? And
Yeah.
Southwest here, as you can see, I mean, has been declining from 64 to now around 53 this morning, slightly up. Because everybody is also concerned that they might have to cancel flights as well as American because they can't get crews to work.
Interesting times.
Interesting time. Let's talk about Bitcoin for just a moment before we go to individual stocks. So Bitcoin, again down almost 4% here this morning, and Bitcoin is just stuck in this range between 30,000 and 40,000. And we've been talking about this for quite a while. It's just hovering there. So right now at 33,000. And I mean, if you're looking at this for the year, I believe that Bitcoin is down 47%. And that's not counting the high that we had here at 65. So, but for the year, pretty much down. And this were also the market share of Bitcoin is also coincidentally at 47% right now, and it used to be 70% at the beginning of the year. So it seems that Bitcoin has lost a little bit of its charm, and more other cryptocurrencies are coming on the stage here, taking the spotlight and taking away market share from Bitcoin. So only less than half of the market share of cryptocurrencies is now in Bitcoin, down from 70%.
Interesting. I didn't look into it, but I did see a blurb that George Soros and his fund is finally dabbling in Bitcoin and cryptos.
Ah, what do you know? Well, now that Bitcoin is on the decline, now he's getting it. Okay. Hey, let's talk about a few individual stocks. Who is moving this morning?
I saw that Walgreens, WBA, Walgreens Boot Alliance, or Boots Alliance.
Yeah.
They actually, flat last I looked, but they had an earnings beat. They reported earnings per share of $1.51 versus a $1.17 estimate, but the revenue was better as well, and they raised their full year forecast, helped by prescription volume increases.
Yeah, and I mean, this should move the stock higher, but right now, I mean, they're trading down 1.25%. I mean, good news all around, but the price is not reacting to the good news just yet. All right.
Yep.
What else?
And then Micron, MU.
Yep.
Micron, they had a small earnings beat. $1.88 earnings per share versus $1.72 expectation. Better revenue and upbeat quarter guidance, but not really helping the stock right now pre-market.
No. All right, down 2.2%. Didi, we mentioned it yesterday. Didi had
Yeah,
its IPO debut yesterday, so it opened right here at around 1660. Closed out the day at 1414, and right now pre-market it's up at 1557. So a little bit all over the place. And you mentioned it yesterday. They are the Uber of China, literally, because they bought Uber in China. So anyhow, so this is the IPO here that we had yesterday, and we have another IPO coming up today. Do you know what it is?
Krispy Kreme,
Krispy
DNUT.
Kreme under DNUT returns to the markets today, and
Yeah,
it's the second time around. I mean, they already went public and then they went bankrupt, went through a restructuring, and now they're coming back. So today, if you like Krispy Kreme, today's the day. We'll see what happens
I'm
there.
double dip with your donuts. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like their IPO is expected at 17, or that was what they decided on, which was below the $21 to $24 range that they initially thought. So we'll see what happens with DNUT.
We'll see. Okay, what else is moving this morning?
Some electric vehicle makers, NIO,
Yep.
getting a nice jump. They reported that in
Woo.
June they delivered 8,083 vehicles, which was up 116% from the previous year.
Wow.
So
So
pretty
almost
nice
more
jump
than
there.
double.
Yeah. And XPeng, the ticker XPEV, they're up big too. They delivered 6,565 vehicles in June, and this is, I think it was 7 times what they delivered last year. So they're up
This just
nicely.
shows the trend is clearly to electric vehicles. And I mean, now
Yeah.
we talked about it a few days ago that the European Commission has a goal of being all electric by 2035. And some car makers have already committed to this and said, oh, yeah, we'll be all electric by 2035. And if you think about it, it's around the corner. I mean, we're already in 2021. So we are just 14 years away from possibly being all electric. And yeah, all the gasoline engines or the combustion engines will be then classic cars. So, and I know that in California, isn't the initiative also 2030 or 2035? What is the
Yeah, I
goal
think it's
there?
2030.
Yeah.
2030.
Let's just
Yeah, and I
take a
think
look.
even
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think even like Amazon has committed to have all their vans electric by 2030 as well.
Yeah. So this morning also Tesla up 0.8%. I mean, I think just benefiting from it. Let's see what Workhorse does. Workhorse just slightly up 0.06%. And then we have Ride, our friend Ride, also up 1% here this morning. So it seems that today electric vehicles are back in the spotlight after these really great deliveries from NIO and XPeng.
Yep. Another mover, CVAC, CVAC, CureVac's the name. So we mentioned this a couple weeks ago. They reported their final study on their vaccine, and it showed that the efficacy was 48%. So not too hot compared to the other vaccines
Yeah, this
available.
is why they
And
had
that was
this
a big
massive
deal.
drop. I mean, 47%. Was it 47%?
It was
Efficacy?
47. So, a, a tick higher isn't going to help them.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Okay. Well, that's a German company. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're down another 14% here this morning. Anyhow, all right. So this wraps up today's stock market news in 15 minutes or less. Hope you're enjoying it. Give us a like if you like it. There's some other videos popping up for you. And you have a great rest of your day. And we'll see you back tomorrow morning.
Happy trading, everybody.